Hi, it's Ruby. Thanks for clicking on my video. Today I'm going to be walking you through the Hyatt Regency Resort and Spa, which is located in Maui, which is part of the Hawaiian Islands, and also the Hyatt Residence Club, which is right next door. We got to stay there, and it is a beautiful property, and Maui is beautiful, and I kind of just want to like walk through the hotel, kind of show you some pictures that we took, and give you some updates on what's changed there over the past 5 years, and then also kind of talk to you a little bit about the Residence Club and what that has to offer. So if that sounds interesting, please keep watching. The last time we went to Maui was about 5 or 6 years ago. Me and my now husband went, and we stayed at the Hyatt Regency. We stayed in the tower that is farther north, and we stayed in a suite, which was updated at the time, or at least it looked really updated. I did a whole review on our room this past time where we stayed for 3 nights in a partial ocean view with a king bed and a pull-out couch, and I'll link that video here if you're interested in watching that. 5 years ago, the Residence Club was basically envisioned, and they tore down the parking garage that was right next to the Hyatt Regency. And because of that, there is parking on site, but you have limited parking. There's also like a luau almost every single night at the Hyatt Regency, and you can opt to do self-parking, but what we found is that valet was the same price because the parking lot was a lot smaller, just the fact that they reduced the parking available to build the new location. So keep that in mind when you travel there. You do have to pay a fee, and I would go on their website to see what the most recent cost is, but when we went it was about $23 for self-parking, and then $23 for valet, but you tip when you pick up and drop the car off, so it ends up being a little bit more if your stay is extended, but it is an option. The Hyatt Regency Maui has a really grand entrance when you walk into the hotel. It's very open-ended. To your right, you'll see the check-in desk, and you'll see some special check-in depending on where you're at in the Hyatt tier or club. And then to your left, you can find the concierge, and then also a desk for shore excursions or whatever you want to do while you're on the island. My husband is so funny. He's teasing me. There's also a Hertz location there, and a couple desks for that right there, right outside of the lobby, but then also when you go down to the shops, which is connected in the lobby area. Once you walk past the initial entrance and you check in, you get a lei, which is so beautiful. I love leis, and they smell so good. You get that for every member of your party, but you come into like a very open, you can just see right to the ocean, and it's beautiful. There's a few animals there as well. You'll see some parrots throughout the day, and then there are some koi fish, and then penguins as well. The penguins are very unique. Every morning they do a feeding around 9:30, and then they will also feed the koi fish, and they allow for the kids to feed the koi fish. So that's an awesome experience if you have children, or if you're super into animals. I would totally recommend doing the feedings because it's really interesting and they teach you a lot. Okay, so the elevators are also located there. The door to your room opens out into the environment, and you get, the beautiful flower smell as soon as you come out of your room, but you can also hear the ocean if you're facing the ocean side. So again, a beautiful property. I loved it. One thing is different is that before when we went, the Regency Club was on the 22nd floor. That has now moved downstairs, and it's past the shops and before you enter the conference rooms or the rooms that you can rent for weddings or whatever else. A really big space, and it has a beautiful overlooking view of the water, which I feel like was missing last time. Another thing that is different is that there used to be some shops when you walked to the northern tower, but now those are gone, and there's sales offices there for the Residence Club. You can walk through there and see kind of where the Residence Clubs are currently in the United States and all over the world, and then if you opt to talk to a sales rep, you can set that up right there. Give certain incentives if you go and sit through some of their presentations. There's a Ululani shaved ice location now currently on site right by the pool, and that is a new addition as well. It's amazing. We went there almost every single day. Like that location itself, we found it on French Street the last time we came to Maui, and the shaved ice is cut so thin. It's almost like you're eating ice cream instead of actually ice, and it's so good. Their customer service is great, so make sure you hit that up. If you walk through the lobby and go to the left, there's a bunch of shops there. One of my favorite stores is the Macy's, and they have pretty much everything you need for water sports or anything that's like like vacation type attire. So there's men's clothes, there is women's clothes. I didn't see any children's clothes, but it is a nice sized Macy's, and you can use your Macy's cards and coupons there, and they have a lot of selection that you don't normally have in the mainland. So I would definitely recommend hitting up that store. There's also a coffee shop there that has acai bowls in the morning, and so we always saw a really long line there. I would definitely try that out as well. And then there's also a grocery store there that has diapers and medicine and all kinds of things that you might need. A few few other shops for maybe local art or local things that you want to purchase. Overall, we did really like walking through those shops in the evenings. It did give me kind of a cruise ship vibe, right? You have the shops, you have the pool and the food and everything else, and it's Hawaii, it's beautiful. But I mean, obviously better than a cruise ship because you can walk around and, you know, smell the water and get on the beach. But it's a beautiful hotel, and the whole shop aspect of it is like what puts it over the top for me, because I love walking through shops and seeing local pieces and local things that you can purchase through the hotel. They have a wildlife preserve area, which is also really nice to walk through. It is past the shops and before you hit the luau location. It's basically just a path, and they have swans there, ducks there, they have exotic birds, and they are actually going to be moving the penguin location, which I learned about pretty soon. So they're going to be moving penguins over into this area. And there's also a restaurant there that overlooks this kind of like a lagoon. It's beautiful. We had brunch there, pretty good food, but it is a really nice walk through there to see all the animals. And then there's a beautiful bridge where people take pictures, and you can kind of oversee not only the ocean but the hotel, and you get some really nice pictures of the pool and then the side of the hotel at night. So I recommend walking through there in the evening, and then if you can, go at night so you can see kind of a different way that the hotel looks. You continue on this way, you can go to the left where I mentioned there is the luau. We didn't opt to do the luau this time. We've done a luau in the past, and we did do one at the Hyatt Regency about 5 or 6 years ago. It was really good food. The dancing and the culture presentations were amazing, and I just have so much respect for Hawaiian culture, and I really recommend if you want to do that and experience that, to do that and support also the local merchants that are selling items right outside the luau. The thing that's different about the Hyatt Regency is it's like the last hotel before you hit more of like a park type beach. And so if you come out to the waterfront and you go to your left, you'll find that's where the gym is and the spa. Moana Gym is there. I did go to the gym one day, but we opted to just run the beach and do exercise outside because it was beautiful. But they do have classes throughout the day, and you can pay extra for that, and then they have your typical weightlifting and gym equipment as well. There's also a spa. We didn't use the spa this time, but if you want to, you should go check it out, and they'll give you a walkthrough of what the amenities are. You can use, if you don't want to just get like a treatment, you can use the spa's amenities for about $25 a day, and that is an option to you. If you keep walking that way, you'll see rental equipment for kayaks and paddleboarding and all kinds of other things, snorkeling as well. And then there's a beach there after you pass the luau location. If you go to the right and you keep going up, you'll now see the pool amenities. And there is another restaurant right above the pool. It is a Japanese inspired restaurant, and it actually has some of the best sushi on the island. We ate there last time and not this time, but the food was pretty good. I opted this time to try to actually hit up local places that were not specifically maybe on the boardwalk and support those businesses and those restaurants. So we didn't really do a lot of eating at the resort other than going to the Regency Club, and then we'd walk up to Whaler Village and eat over there. But we did do the brunch. The brunch was fine, but honestly, what you get at the Regency Club was pretty much the same thing. The difference was mainly that you got all of it at once at the brunch versus at the Regency Club. Like one day you would have maybe sausage, and the next day you would have pancakes, and the next day you'd have crepes, whereas in the brunch you would have all that available for that day. But overall, I would definitely recommend the Regency Club over doing the brunch. The pool. Okay, so the pool doesn't have any lazy rivers necessarily, but there is a big, huge, like adult tape. Actually, I wouldn't even say it's like adult area because kids can go there if they can swim, but there's like a deep end and then it gets shallow and you go into like a cave and you go under a bridge, and at that cave there is a bar. So you can either swim up and walk out of the water and get food or drinks right there at the bar, or you can walk in through the side and sit down and eat or drink at the bar. And I thought that was super cool. It was like fun, and they had a happy hour that was at 11 o'clock for drinks and food, and then another one right before they close, so from 4 to 5. I think that food-wise, the happy hour food is actually better at the location at Residence Club, but the drink specials were really good here. So again, you could try it out if you're into that. If not, you know, it's cool to be able to swim past there and get what you want and then continue on. After you leave the cave, there is I guess this would be more like a kids area. There's really shallow water and a play area. There's a slide there for kids, and it's kind of nice as a parent. You can sit there and watch your kids and they hop around and have a good time. But right outside of that is another slide for, I would say, adults or experiencers. And if you go on it, make sure you don't have your glasses, or because you'll lose them. It's a really like fast slide. And then it dumps out into really deep water. And then also, fun fact, a lot of their herbs and things that they make for the restaurants are actually grown right there on site, and they have a garden there, a chef's garden. So you can check that out as well. If you follow the path, it will actually take you up to the sales office. And if you want to walk through there, you can, but that is the location I told you before that used to be shopped. There's a hot tub there, and then if you continue down the boardwalk, you enter into like the Residence Club area. But if you're staying at the Hyatt, you can use both properties. So let's just go right into what the Residence Club has. So the Residence Club has its own gym, and it has its own pool area. It has its own like baby slide, its own hot tubs. There's several of them, about 2, and then there's like an infinity pool. You don't have that at the Hyatt Regency, but like I mentioned, you can use both facilities. I would say the Hyatt Residence Club was like less people. It was a little bit more quiet, but it was smaller overall, I felt like, for the pool. But again, you have the adults only infinity pool, and then there's a few tunnels there, and like, you know, it's the same concept of like that black rock look, and then beautiful water right there overlooking the beach. So I did really enjoy that pool. And then once we went to the Residence Club, because we did stay at the Residence Club for 5 days, we pretty much stayed there at that water. And I think we went over to the main big slide I mentioned before like once, but other than that, we just stayed at the Residence Club because their amenities were very good. There's a restaurant right outside overlooking the beach, and it's like a bar, and it has a very good happy hour. That happy hour though is a little bit later. It's from 5 to 6, and they do have drink specials and a lot of food to pick from, and their appetizers are 50% off. So again, it's a better deal if you want to do that, to eat there. And we did eat there, and that food was really good. We also ate at the restaurant that's right by the pool, and that one was a little bit more expensive, but the portions were really big. And so when I say the pool, I mean the Regency. Going back to the Hyatt Regency, there's a restaurant there at the pool. We ate there as well, and that was good, but it was more expensive, but big sizes. If you go through the back of the hotel at the Hyatt Residence Club and you walk up into the lobby is much smaller, but they do have like day beds in the lobby, so you can like just lay out there if you want to. And it opens up right to the pool, versus at the Hyatt Regency you have to walk downstairs to go to the pool. So it almost feels like it's an extension of the pool area. I didn't really see people laying there in their swimsuits, but I guess, you know, people walked like straight up through the pool into the lobby area, and you know, they were just like constantly wiping the floor up. To the left, you'll find the concierge desk, and they had some common water there, but that got taken away because of what's been going on in the world right now. They have valet, and that is the only way you can park your car. And valet is included in what you pay to stay at the Residence Club, at least in our package. So that was awesome. And they have a welcome lounge. So like, let's say you're coming early and your room isn't available, you can actually go into this welcome lounge and put some stuff there, and you have access to showers and bathrooms. You can work out, you can use the facilities, and then come, you know, get your bag. Or if your flight's later and you want to hang out at the pool, you could do the same thing. They have a gym as well that I mentioned. The gym's pretty small, but has kind of the same things like classes and weights and ellipticals and all that stuff. But again, like if you're in Hawaii, I totally recommend just like running up the boardwalk all the way to Black Rock. There and back is a little bit over 2 miles, and if you go early in the morning, you won't get the sun, it won't be as hot, but a lot of people are out there between like 7:30 and 8. All right, so I've talked about the Hyatt Regency property, I've talked about the Residence Club, let's talk about the room. Okay, the rooms are gorgeous. We were in a 2-bedroom oceanfront suite, and honestly, it could have slept like 10 people. Oh, and we were on kind of like a lower floor, which I preferred. When I went up to the very top, I kind of felt like it was too high for me. There's like a very long balcony there that overlooks the pool, but that lower level was awesome. I felt like I was closer to the pool area, and like when they do the lamp lighting ceremony at the end of the day, they do it at 6 o'clock at night. It was really cool to see them light the torches around the pools and around the property. It was awesome. But yes, so the 2-bedroom, the pull-up bed was better at this resort than at the Hyatt Regency, and maybe that's because it's a newer resort. It's only been open for a couple of years, but it was very comfortable. I would say out of all the places I've stayed, I would prefer to stay at a timeshare that is like that. But again, There is a balcony there that is very long and there's some places to sit. They do not have barbecues on the balcony. You actually have to go downstairs, but they do have it on the side of the hotel and you can barbecue there. But the balcony is beautiful, and at night it's really nice to just sit out there and hear the ocean. If you're sleeping in the living room, they have those super fancy blinds that come down electronically, so that's really nice because you can have, you know, it blacked out if you want it to be, and then if you want to let the light in or hear the ocean, you can open up those blinds, and the glass doesn't just like open a little bit, it opens all the way. And it was a little bit easy to open, so that did make me nervous as a mom of small children, but again, I felt like it was safe enough with the balcony and the height of the railing. So it is a really beautiful hotel, but I would recommend, like, you know, keep an eye on that for small ones because, you know, they get into everything. I recommend also going to the Residence Club website or calling the concierge if you're traveling there to see what type of resort activities they had. They had a lot of like daily activities. I would say more than the Regency Club. The Regency Club kind of had the same every day, whereas Residence Club has specific activities for the day of the week. So like on Mondays they would do A, B, and C, and then on Tuesdays they do something different. I know that they had like a ice cream feed one of the days. I think it was like Sunday night. It was really, really awesome. It definitely gave me, I know I compare it to cruises, I shouldn't, but like the activities and the amenities, all of that kind of gave me a cruise vibe. And also that it's so close to the Regency Club, it's not a long walk. In fact, if you're in the Regency Club and like let's say you go to the penguin feeding, you can get, you know, into the lobby of the Residence Club within a few minutes, especially if you walk through the sales area and then come out the door, you're literally like a few feet away from the lobby of the Residence Club. Overall, I think that I preferred obviously the Residence Club room because they were so massive and updated and great and beautiful, but the amenities, like the bulk amenities, walking around more, the shops, that's all only at the Regency Club. Again, if you stay at either property, you have access to either location and those amenities, but I did feel like when I stayed at the Residence Club, it was a little bit more private and secluded, but when I stayed at the Regency Club, although the room wasn't as fancy as the Residence Club or big, it was a little bit shorter of a walk for me to go, you know, get shaved ice or, you know, use, you know, go on the nature walk or any of that stuff. Okay guys, well, if you're gonna stay at the Hyatt in the future, obviously not right now, but you know, let me know what you think. And also, I did mention that they're renovating the towers, so the Hyatt Regency is only at a third capacity, and I am told that the pricing will go up once the hotel is done with its renovations of all their rooms. So keep an eye on for that. Right now, a night at the Hyatt Regency can go anywhere between like $400 to $700 a night, and at the Residence Club, depending on availability, it could be up to $1,000 a night. So keep your eyes out for next year if you're planning on going to Maui. And other than that, everybody, I hope you liked my video. Stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.